To order, we would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Karen, any unfinished business? All right. Next, we will consider a motion to to approve the minutes of July 8th, 2020. Second that. Properly moved and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll consider a motion to approve the invoices in the amount of $1,570,902.98 for the period July 3rd through July 17th, 2025.
So moved.
I'll second it. Properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions or discussion? May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Humes?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
We'll consider a motion to approve the actual payroll in the amount of $324,131.35 for the period July 29th through July 12th, June 29th, through July 12th, 2025.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. May we have a roll call?
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Humes?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
The next item we'll consider is a motion to approve an easement agreement between Dickinson Center Incorporated and the County of Jefferson, situated in Pine Creek Township along Service Center Road, as further described in the attachment.
So moved.
I'll second that. Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or question? I would like to add to issue. The purpose of this is the county owns Service Center Road. That's the road that services several businesses in addition to the county 911 center. And it is our intention in the near future to do some improvements on that county owned road. And in order to pursue those improvements, we needed to secure an easement from the Dickinson Center, which is one of the enterprises served by the same carway. So that's the purpose and intent.
That project is grant funded too.
Yeah. Thank you. That was a multimodal grant
Yes.
and,
259,000. We're still seeking additional funds to complete the entire scope of the project, but well underway.
thank you for adding to that. And, though we've acknowledged this in the past, I'd like to remind everyone that we're grateful to Representative Smith and Senator Dush for supporting this endeavor. Anything else? All right, maybe we have a roll call, please.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Humes?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Next item we'll consider is a motion to extend the contract by and between Computer Aid Incorporated and the County of Jefferson for CYS fiscal and programming consulting services through June 30th, 2026 for the rates indicated.
So moved.
I'll second that one. Properly moved and second. Are there any questions or discussion? I'll just add that CAI, or Computer Aid Incorporated, we engaged their services beginning, I believe, 2 years ago. And they have been a very worthwhile asset to the County of Jefferson. They have been key and critical to, among other things, the county recovering millions of dollars of funding that was due the county from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It was lacking because we needed to submit the proper reports in the right format, and they provided the expertise and the assistance to help not only get that done, but they're also educating our staff. Bottom line is, that's a handsome hourly rate, but the more education and the more capable our staff become, the less we need outsiders. So they're also providing an education component. Anything else? All right, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. Sorry.
The next item is we'll consider a motion to, for the transfer of $5,000 from the Community Development Block Grant, federal fiscal year 2018. Contract number is stated for fiscal year 2023. Contract number is stated.
So moved. Second it.
Properly moved in second. Any questions or discussion? Would
This
you like
is,
to elucidate?
yeah, this is a bunch of letters and numbers to you. But to me, this is a finding off of an audit, pretty standard transfer at the end of a project. You might have some project money left over, we get to keep that money. So instead of leaving it in the 2018 contract, which that project has already been finished, we'll put it in the 23 money and use it towards something else.
Well, we appreciate your attentiveness and taking the opportunity to, pour these funds from a previous year to something that can still be used to the good of Jefferson County. Anything else? So, could we have a roll call vote in that, please?
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. Sorry.
On the next page, we'll consider a motion to authorize the return of CDGB funds in the amount of $712.34. In project funds from fiscal year 2020, the contract is specified along with an overage of $156.37 in administrative funds to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Elise, would you like to explain what I just said?
I can.
Good.
So this
I
is
can.
another one where money was left over from the grant. This is money that wasn't ours to begin with. We were given it via a grant. It was not spent. We're returning what wasn't spent. It's COVID money, so it's different. We don't get to keep it, move it to a different project. We return it.
All right. Very good. Any other discussion, questions? Call for the vote, please.
Mr. North?
Yeah.
Mr. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. Sorry.
Yes.
All right. The next item on our agenda is public information. It's our duty to keep the public informed. The county was the subject of an Equal Opportunity Employment Commission complaint. It was filed on July 3rd by the Sheriff's Department Office Manager Deshauna McAdoo, claiming sex and discrimination retaliation. On July 15th, the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission dismissed the complaint and issued a right to sue notice. So far as this matter is concerned, it is closed until we hear differently or otherwise. So, all right, I will go past public information, public comment. Sir.
Just a couple of questions. On the consultation fee, what does that amount to yearly?
I would like to research that and get you an answer off the top of my head. The number 10,000 comes to mind, Herb, but
Each one or just for all?
for the contract in total, but I don't want to hang my hat on that because honestly, I don't recall, but I can get that answer for you.
And it bounces because it all depends how
How
much,
many hours, yes.
yeah, how much assistance they
Understand.
And if I can, just to help color my answer to that question, their services are part of the reimbursable expenses too, so we can, most of that money will come back to us from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. But I'd like to do justice to your question and get back to you.
Whatever, along the same lines. You said there's a teaching component here to get our staff up to speed on how to do the forms or whatever. Can you see a time when that will not be necessary once our staff learns how to do it?
Yes, the objective is, and we're getting close to it, that we won't need this type of consultation, except for one-off things that come up that we don't typically deal. Our internal staff's capacity, and I would go back to our most recent meeting, the meeting we had earlier in July, where we took the opportunity to acknowledge the CYS staff, the director, and the financial supervisor. Part of their success stems from, the lessons learned from this company, who understands the DHS, the Department of Human Services language, and the Office of Protective Services, and helps us meet their requirements so that, in practical terms, we can get the money back to the people of Jefferson County, take burden off the property taxpayers.
Thank you.
And that could be the case too, Herb, that they may always have a contract with them and be as needed.
Yes, I understand. In other words, it would not be ongoing, it would be
Right.
as they use.
Correct.
Our first year with them,
Needed.
we use them a lot, we pay for them. On the other hand, when the result of spending thousands or maybe tens of thousands of dollars is that we're getting millions of dollars back, we're pleased with the exchange.
Thanks.
Okay. Other public comment? Yes.
I'll just make another CDBG announcement regarding surveys. We're doing a survey in Brockway. The water authority has called it the High Street Tank Hill area. We've sent out demographic surveys to residents in that area. It's in a county envelope. There's a county return envelope inside of it. It's a confidential survey, but they needed to pursue a funding source they're looking into.
Thank you. Any other public comment or question? Now we traditionally open the floor to the media. Let's start, as we always do, Patty, with you.
Only
Anything?
one question,
Yes.
what happens next with the lawsuit?
The lawsuit will be responded to by the county solicitor, and we'll cite and enumerate our concerns with the issues that were outlined within that lawsuit. And then we'll see what reactions we get to those concerns.
I need to ask a question, please, since I wasn't
I'm-
here. I'm not sure
let
what
me-
lawsuit we're talking about.
Let me come back to you. Now, you're talking about
With the treasurer.
thank you. So you're talking about the treasurer, Mr. Van Steenberg's lawsuit against the county.
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to expand anything? Was that your singular question?
Well, it was one of them, but I guess the other part of it is,
Well, let me, if you have more, let me just finish with that. Anything else? Okay. Well, let's go to you, so now I'll get back to the meeting. Go ahead.
thanks. In a nutshell, what's the suit concern?
What does the suit?
Yeah, what's it for? What's it about?
Oh,
You say that there's a suit.
I'm not well suited to answer that question.
I said in a nutshell.
I could give you my position on the lawsuit. I thought someone might ask, in case someone did. I came prepared to discuss that. But since you did, Herb, and if Justin Television Station don't mind us going a little bit out of order. Okay.
This was one of my questions, so.
All right, do you want to just take Herb's question? You can get us back on track then, and we're not violating.
Oh,
our
no,
agenda.
please go ahead. I was gonna ask about this.
Okay, so, I did have a couple of remarks, but, so in the body of the lawsuit that the county received, was filed recently by the treasurer. I had the opportunity, I'm speaking for myself, I want to be clear. I'm talking for these gentlemen, I'm not talking about County of Jefferson, I'm talking about Scott North in my role as commissioner. So I looked through the lawsuit from stem to stern, and I drew out a few items. There's one part where within the body of the lawsuit, it states the county commissioners are claiming authority to discipline, discharge employees of the county offices. If you look at the lawsuit itself, there's actually a handwritten amendment to the document. It's not cited who made that reference or even what that reference meant, but someone made a hand and ink change to it, which could be interpreted, I've heard, 3 different ways. We're gonna need to understand whether that was a mistake or misnomer or what that amendment meant. It's not clear. But if you take the amendment out of it, whatever it may mean, the verbiage that was lifted and put into the lawsuit is inaccurate. It's not the verbiage that was in the final document. It's incorrect, and whatever hand annotation was made is vague. The ordinance purports to confer upon the commissioner's supervisory and disciplinary control over the employees of the plaintiff's office. Simply not accurate. It's not in the ordinance. Another part says that it's direct violation of Section 1620. Section 1620, ladies and gentlemen, is the section of the county code that assigns to elected officials the right to hire, discharge, and supervise their people. The treasurer, in his media remarks, both to the paper and to the television, have mischaracterized this. He misquotes the county code saying discipline is not in the county code in 1620. And this portion of the allegation is baseless. Another portion of the lawsuit states that the commissioners are granting upon themselves disciplinary authority of independent row officers. Again, and used the same, and wrestle in the same argument. It's not in the ordinance, it doesn't say that. We're not claiming that it does. I'm glad you came today.
Thanks.
Part of the suit says that the plaintiff, Mr. Van Steenberg, has suffered harm. And to him and his office, the plaintiff and employees, I'd like to see the harm or understand what damages have been incurred, financial or otherwise. Another thing that really has me wondering what's the purpose of the portion that it's asking for costs. Why is Mr. Van Steenberg seeking money over this for the action, including attorney's fees, which is, to me, the unfortunate part, because the people of Jefferson County are on both sides of the issue. They're paying for the legal costs associated with initiating a lawsuit. People of Jefferson County are paying for the legal costs of defending the lawsuit. The lawsuit itself is so replete with problems and inaccuracies. I'm not going to drill into this one, but the plaintiff even cites his own address incorrectly. In the ordinance, the word commissioners appears only twice. Article 5, it's regarding contracts, and in Article 9 regarding requests for holiday, weekend, and evening use of the facilities. The word supervise, it doesn't appear anywhere in the ordinance. Mr. Van Steenberg has dropped another burden on the back of the taxpayer. He was asked repeatedly to explain his concern. Its concern from the Jefferson, the concern can be noted in the Jefferson County Salary Board meeting, which took place on March 25th, 2025. It's on the internet on via YouTube. At about 30 minutes into the meeting, Mr. Van Steenberg, who wasn't able to explain his position beyond stating, and I'm taking a segment out of his quote, "If I don't take care of this now, 20 years from now, a commissioner goes in and take an office out." Don't let me mischaracterize or misflavor any of that. Look at it yourself, and you can hear Mr. Van Steenberg in his own words. Between the inaccurate references and Mr. Van Steenberg's unwillingness to explain what he's talking about, there's little more to consider. The safety ordinance has been in effect for nearly a year and has had no issues. I do take exception to Mr. Van Steenberg's remarks to the media, both the newspaper and the television, that what I shared about the ordinance that we borrowed from York County is not being true. Mr. Van Steenberg stated that the ordinance was not enacted because of opposition of their elected officials. I think that this would be an opportune time to demonstrate, in his own words, what I'm referring to. You must be causing interference, Justin.
I mean, I am pretty large.
Yes, you, there. I'm ready to movies today. I didn't either. I was surprised over that.
He stated that they based this off of a ordinance that was passed in another county. I called that county treasurer and said, "Hey, what the heck's going on?" And she said, "No, it did not pass because all the elected officials said this is wrong and whatever."
Okay. Mr. Van Steenberg said that I mischaracterized, or to use a different word, lied about it. What I would like to share is this. Anyone would like to see it in detail, they're welcome to it. This is a copy of York County's ordinance. The way they design their ordinances, the way they craft them, this would be the last page. The last page shows the motion being made by one of their commissioners, seconded by another one of their commissioners, and being passed unanimously. I don't know if Mr. Van Steenberg actually talked to the treasurer. Perhaps he did. Perhaps spoke with the wrong treasurer. But what he said about my remarks is patently and demonstrably inaccurate. York County did pass their ordinance, which is York County's business. But this was the base document that I referred to back in September. If he spoke with their treasurer was not in office at the time this ordinance was in place. The treasurer who was there at the time this ordinance was passed is no longer alive. So I call upon Mr. Van Steenberg to act responsibly and retract his false statement in that regard. Mr. Van Steenberg should devote his final months in office to the duties of treasurer. If Mr. Van Steenberg has some issues of a personal nature that he wants to pursue, he should pay for his sour grapes with his own money. Most unfortunate is that Mr. Van Steenberg doesn't seem to embrace that his job is one of service to the people, not a platform to project authority. You would think that the treasurer of a $35 million a year governmental entity would not focus on lawsuits, elections, and lunchtime, but instead on the duties at hand. So I'll give you an illustration of what he was doing while he was working on lawsuits and what he was not doing with regard to your money. You might recall that we discussed in recent months the issue of remuneration of federal taxes. While Mr. Van Steenberg was distracted by his lawsuit and other non-fiscal concerns, the financial responsibilities of the office continued to spiral. Late last year, Mr. Van Steenberg failed to remit employee withholding taxes in the amount of $67,954.34 to the IRS. At the March 25th, 2025 salary board meeting, Mr. Van Steenberg assured the people of Jefferson County that the cost for his failure would be $20, worst case. And that was about 36 minutes and 50 seconds into the meeting, if anyone cares to look. In April, the bill came from the IRS to the people of Jefferson County. It wasn't $20. It was $1,099.99. That's in fines, penalties, and interest. Mr. Van Steenberg was given 10 days to act, however, he took 20 days to do so. He was not only late, he applied the remittance to the wrong time period. The result is that the invoice went unpaid for an extended period of time, and taxpayers incurred further fines, penalties, and interest. By July, the cost rose to $1,119.78. I have directly asked Mr. Van Steenberg in writing to stop pouring tax dollars into a sewer. Request to Mr. Van Steenberg to apply proper fiscal controls have been ignored. But don't worry, people of Jefferson County. He is suing to protect his rights and authority, and you'll be billed. Those are my thoughts, sir.
Thanks.
Justin, let's go to you.
How do you follow that?
I hope with nothing, because I'm out of paper.
Unfortunately, it's not gonna be with me. I'll start with an easy one. Who is the suit being brought before? Which judge?
It's gonna be an easy one. Aren't you gonna ask an easy question?
Yeah, which judge is it being
I
brought?
don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
What was filed here in Jefferson County, and so, the court will have to make a decision as to what they believe is the appropriate way to handle this. So, I can't say for certain whether it'll be our court or perhaps, referred to another.
Second thing I had, Scott, you gave your thoughts on this situation at length. Commissioner Pizarnik, Commissioner Humes, do you have any thoughts on the situation?
Well, like you said, it's hard to follow what Scott just said, but, I'm not a lawyer, so we'll see what happens.
I agree with Scott and Jeff, but this ordinance was designed to help protect employees and the citizens of Jefferson County. It's a good ordinance. And I said it before, sticking up.
Okay. Next thing I have is gonna be switching gears, back to the public information. The equal opportunity complaint by McAdoo. If you can't answer, that's fine, but like, is there any insight you can give to what the nature of the complaint was?
I really can't, Justin, I
Okay.
can't delve into anything that would be, personal or personnel matter.
Okay.
But the part that I shared is public information. People are entitled to know what's going on with their government. So I shared what I could.
Okay. And then you said that the commission dismissed it
They did.
and gave a right to sue. Does that mean that that gives the county a right to like counter sue?
I don't think that's the intent behind it. I've dealt with the EOC before, and when they issue, I'm just gonna go into the shallow end of the pool and get right back out, because my understanding of it goes no further than this. When they dismiss something, they respond in that we haven't chosen to proceed with this, or I don't want to put words in the commission's mouth, but they're handing it back to the person making the complaint, saying, we're not saying that you don't have a point. We're saying we don't have anything that we're going to pursue.
Okay.
So that's why it's called a dismissal and right to sue. So we're saying, the EOC is saying, that we're handing this matter back to you, and then, you can pursue it as you see fit.
Okay, so she could still bring a suit to the county?
Absolutely.
Okay. So as far as the commissioners are concerned, until any further action is taken on their end, it's done?
Yeah, as a board of commissioners, this matter is settled.
I think that's all the questions I had.
Okay. Anything from the television?
If you don't mind, I talk to you at the end, because I engage you mic'd up.
Oh. It's your turn to get mic'd up.
Oh, you're on the mic. You're on here.
Okay. Well, getting back to, what's next? So we'll close public comment. And before we wrap things up, is there anything else? Okay.
Maybe you have anything else.
Oh, thank you. As Commissioner Pisarcik pointed out, I'd like to draw everyone's attention to, under announcements, that we're seeking interested persons to serve in the Renlo Park Authority. Let us know, contact us at that phone number, 814-849-1653, if that's of interest to you. And we would appreciate hearing from anyone who would like to serve on that board. Thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Is there a motion to adjourn? You want to
I'll
leave?
get that motion.
Okay. Properly moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, we're adjourned.